Before Candy and Douglas Zyskowski became names attached to timelines, reports, and court filings, they were simply two people deciding how they wanted to exist in the world. They were young, they were newly married, and they believed their lives were meant to be lived outward, not carefully contained, not quietly protected, but shared. Candy was 23 years old, nearly 24, as she left Washington with her husband. Douglas was in his mid-20s. They were at a point in life where most people are still figuring out who they are and what they want to become. For them, that question had already been answered. They believed in purpose, they believed in calling, and they believed that faith was not something that you talked about from a distance. It was something you carried into the world and you practiced among others. Their journey was not about escape. It wasn't about restlessness or drifting or running from something unfinished. It was about commitment to each other, to their beliefs, and to a way of life that prioritized movement and connection over comfort and certainty. They didn't see the road as unpredictable or hostile. They saw it as shared space, a place where people cross paths for a reason. That belief shaped everything about how they traveled. They didn't move with suspicion. They didn't build their lives around worst-case scenarios. They trusted that human connection still mattered, that help would appear when it was needed, and that faith filled the gaps where planning ended. This wasn't an unusual worldview for the time that they lived in. In the late 80s and into the 90s, the world still felt navigable in ways that are hard to imagine now. You could cross state lines without leaving much trace. You could disappear into motion without intending to. You could rely on conversations and kindness rather than systems and safeguards. Candy and Douglas lived comfortably in that space. They trusted the world that they moved through, and they trusted each other inside it. Their marriage unfolded on the road, shaped not by permanence or property, but by shared experience. Their sense of success wasn't measured by accumulation or stability. It was measured by obedience to what they believed that they were called to do. And when we talk about them now, it's important to resist the pull of hindsight, the urge to retroactively rewrite their lives as cautionary tales. They were not reckless within the context that they lived in. They were not unaware of risk. They were simply operating in a world that still believed openness had value. That openness came with a cost, but it also came with meaning. Candy was not defined by the way that her life ended, and Douglas was not defined by where his body was found. They were defined by how they chose to live, in motion, in belief, and in partnership. When they disappeared, the loss did not stop with them. A family lost a daughter whose voice went silent without explanation. A family lost a son whose absence stretched across years and miles. And a child lost a father, not in a single moment, but gradually, through unanswered questions and long searches that led nowhere. Parents spent years traveling roads that never gave them back what they were looking for. They carried photographs, names, hope, and the constant uncertainty that comes with not knowing whether to search forward or to look back. For a long time, Candy and Douglas were separated not just by geography, but by recognition. One had a name without a complete story. The other had a story without a name. Their lives lived together were broken apart by distance, jurisdiction, and time. And yet, even in that separation, they were never truly apart. They were still husband and wife, still connected by the same journey, still bound to the same unanswered ending. Their story did not disappear because it lacked importance. It disappeared because the world they moved through was larger than the systems trying to follow it. The spaces between answers were wide, and silence could stretch without resistance. But silence does not erase meaning. In this episode, we've talked about highways and states and records and how a person could be lost, not because no one cared, but because the world itself was too big to hold everything at once. This tribute is not about the failures of that world. It's about the people who live fully inside of it. Candy and Douglas believed life was meant to be engaged. That belief guided them across thousands of miles, into countless conversations, and through a shared purpose that mattered deeply to them. Their journey was interrupted, violently and permanently, but it was not undone. In the next episode, we'll return to this tribute. We will speak to remembrance, to accountability, and to what it means when truth arrives long after it could change the outcome. But this part of their story belongs here, before the reckoning, before the courtroom, before the name of the person responsible ever enters the narrative. Here, we remember Patricia, Candace, and Douglas Scott Zyskowski as they were, two people who chose to live openly, who trusted deeply, and who believed their lives were meant to intersect with the world rather than hide from it. They were here, they were known, they were loved, and their story continues.